JJ, I'm right back at you like I never left, and I'm gonna go this hard to my last breath. It's Lil Kenny Russell, Canoon, Consul Moon. You already know what you're gonna get when you step in the room. You're now dealing with Canoon. Yeah, I'm here. While I'm here, I'm gonna make the information direct and clear because a lot of y'all can't hear. Yeah. Now, welcome back to My Thoughts 65. I'm sorry. Welcome back to Make My Ancestors Great Again. This is another series of My Thoughts. We're on number 65, and today I'm going to give my thoughts on M.A.G.A. Kalisch. Okay, this is a Islamic convert. He's been a Muslim since he was 16-year-old. Okay, he's 50 something now. In the year 2000, he was going to be unveiled as Munster, Germany's very prestigious institution in Germany for the European. He was going to be announced as their new theological professor. So in essence, he was going to teach all these. It's over 3 million Europeans. Well, in 2000, the year 2000, it was over 3 million European Islamic followers over there. And he was going to be the first ever to head a theological school to teach all those students how to become teachers and go out and spread Islam through the world. So roughly around 2001, the attacks came from 9/11. It was here in the United States of America, but it affected the whole world. So in 2001, from 2000 to 2001, he began doing some studying to just see if, the Prophet Muhammad was a real person. So we'll take it from there, and I'm going to show you the video and things of that nature. I don't own the video. You can find it wherever you can find it at and watch it in its entirety. This is a fair use act. I'm using the video to spread awareness. This is a teaching moment, and I want to spread awareness about this stuff, okay? Because a lot of people get entrenched in religion, and they believe that religion is real, okay? So you can't mess with a person's belief factor, and that's not what I'm intending on doing. But what I'm doing is saying if a person believes that it's historical, one has to rest on either side. Either it's historical or it's religion. See, it's some things maybe being religion that can be deemed historical, but a lot of the historical characters and so-called historical analysis and value that they put in religions type of material is not that. It's just for your belief system. So this is not to take religion or anything like that from anybody. This is so that you can have a more of an analytical mind. You can have research and resource material, and you can do these type of things for yourself. But I'm going to put this here for anybody who wants to look at it, and let's go. Like, share, subscribe, comment, and I thank you for watching. This is the video about M.A.G.A. Kalisch. Okay. Let's see.
Muslim professor of Islamic theology concluded after research that Prophet Muhammad never existed. Munster, Germany, Mohammed Sven Kalisch, a Muslim convert and Germany's first professor of Islamic theology. He fasts during the Muslim holy month, doesn't like to shake hands with Muslim women, and has spent years studying Islamic scriptures. Islam, he says, guides his life, so it came as something of a surprise when Professor Kalisch announced the fruit of his theological research. His conclusion: the Prophet Muhammad probably never existed. Many scholars of Islam question the accuracy of ancient sources on Muhammad's life. The earliest biography, of which no copies survive, dated from roughly a century after the generally accepted year of his death, 632, and is known only by reference to it in much late texts. All the same, Professor Nagel has signed a petition in support of Professor Kalisch, who has faced blistering criticism from Muslim groups and some secular German academics. We are in Europe, Professor Nagel says. Education is about thinking, not just learning by heart. He was struck, he says, by the fact that the first coins bearing Muhammad's name did not appear until the late 7th century, 6 decades after the religion did. The more I read, the historical person at the root of the whole thing became more and more improbable. He says he has doubts, too, about the Quran. God doesn't write books. Professor Kalisch says, I am convinced that what I'm doing is necessary. There must be a free discussion of Islam, he says.
Okay, that was the video. And yeah, that's M.M.A.G.A. Kalisch. And it had a foreign tongue on it because remember, this is Munster, Germany that they're reporting all this stuff from. That's in, European country. That's Germany. Now, it said that the man, M.M.A.G.A. Kalisch, he was a Muslim convert from the age of 16. Excuse me. He fasted during the Muslim holy holidays, which is Ramadan. Okay. It said he doesn't like to shake hands with Muslim women at the time of his fasting and things of that nature. I mean, he was game for it. This is what he was born and bred for. So, like I say, when 9/11 hit, he started doing some investigative research. Other than that, he had all of what everybody had taught him from the time he was 16 till they brought him there. He was roughly in his 40s. I believe it was 42 to 44 when all this occurred. He was ready for that job. He had all the theological necessary education, and he had received all his, doctorals, and he had everything ready to become this, to catapult into this next level of Islamic forefront. He was going to be the top. The top. This had never happened before in Germany. Okay, the school was Munster, Germany, a university there, the largest one, and he was going to have his own theological school for to teach Islamic people. Now, what happened was when 9/11 hit in 2001, from 2000 to 01, he said he roughly started, doing some investigation, um, investigative research. Okay. Now, from 2000 to 2004, he made a shocking, he couldn't take the job. He got before the whole press and said in 2004 that upon him doing his investigative research from the time he got there in 2000 to 2004 was a 100% total difference of opinion. 4 years of research. This man said the Prophet Muhammad probably never existed. But I go a little further than that. He knew he never existed. Okay. And the video was saying that the Prophet Muhammad is said to have died in 632. This is how the story goes now in tradition. Never was no Prophet Muhammad. I said this on prior videos. Prophet Muhammad and Jesus the Christ is the same person. And I said it in my comment section a couple of times in regards to talking to a guy named MS7 or M7, whatever. He was in my comments on one thing, and he's a Muslim man. And I told him that the Prophet Muhammad and Jesus the Christ is exactly the same. Why am I saying that? What do I have to say that? The exact same story that Jesus was pressed upon Muhammad. They don't change the blueprint. They don't change the template. They just insert different names. That's why the Quran cannot begin without the biblical characters. Abraham, Moses, Noah, any of these people, the Quran cannot begin without that. Okay. So you have to embody Judaism and Christianity into Islam. You have to. It's no other way. If you want a religion, they have to allow you to, bestow that religion upon the world. If you coming, to them and saying, okay, now we're going to make it to where Abraham's son is Ishmael. You know, Isaac is one of his sons. All this because it ties into the major three Western religions. Abraham is the father of Ishmael and Isaac. Abraham is Judaism. Isaac is Christianity, and Ishmael is Islam. Okay, so they all tied in there. So out of religion come religion. So Jesus the Christ and Muhammad is the same. They both brought forth something from God that nobody else can bring forth, and they're supposed to be men. Jesus got it from being a father, the son of the Father, all wrapped in one, the Father, the Son, and Holy Ghost. So he took his son out of his own self, out of the sky, brought him to the ground, and had him die this brutal death for me. See, as long as you're a fool and silly enough to believe that, and I don't call people a fool personally, I'm saying foolishness. When I use the term fool, a lot of people get, oh, you the only fool. You have to be foolish to believe some of the things that religion has taught us. Even me, I was a fool at once. See, the thing is to get unwrapped and unraveled out of this foolishness as soon as you can. So, any fool that believe a dead white man on the cross came to the world to save you for your sins when you haven't did anything. The Christians have a thing called original sin. This is how they suck you in. Soon as a baby is born, he already sinned. Now that's crazy as hell. If you ask me, what did a baby do aside from cry when he was hungry? He can't speak yet. And he cry again when he's wet or he messed himself. He can't say anything. What sin have the baby? Um, what sin has he committed? None. But since he was born, he's born into original sin. That means soon as he's born, he's already committed a sin because he takes all that weight of Adam and Eve and it goes right into the infant. So I disregarded that right away when I heard that. I said, wow, that's fascinating to me, you know. But that's how the story goes now. Soon as a baby is born, he's in sin. And it got to be the same thing for Islam because you need Islam, you have to submit. Islam means submit and all that type of stuff, and you will do the will of God. This is how the story goes now. This is what they say. Islam don't mean none of that type of stuff. Okay, Islam mean exactly what they tell you it mean. If you don't know no better, then you follow it like a fool again. Okay, nothing personal, but that's what it is. And you believe everything they said, and you foolishly follow it. They give you a book with instructions. If you get out of that book, like this gentleman did, he went outside the book. The instructions became nothing to him anymore because the man who was based upon is a mythological character. It's fiction. See, the Quran, the Bible, the Torah, all this stuff is based on allegory, mythology, and fiction, and pretty much mostly flat out goddamn lies. To be real with you, okay. So Muhammad and Jesus did the same thing. They delivered a message from the unforeseen and unseen. Uh, Muhammad delivered Allah's message straight to Muhammad. Jesus delivered this God, Yahweh Shawah, Yeshua to all you black Hebrew Israelites, but God, Yahweh. Jesus delivered his message. And what happened to both of them? After 3 days, Jesus got up and went with his father. What happened to Muhammad? After Muhammad died, he got to I think Arabia, and he flew to Medina. That's basically like transliterating like Jesus did. And he flew out of there and you never seen him again. So Allah took him. This is how the story goes now. So they're the exact same people. Now, this man, Muhammad Sven Kalisch, in the year 2010, he undid all of it. In 2010, he said there's no Muhammad, none of that. But that should not stop him from being a theological teacher of Islam. He's gained all the studies, he got all the credentials to do so, and he said he does not have to be a believer of Islam to teach it. That's a damn shame. So I'm bringing this message to let you understand when I say things that you deem outlandish, It's not too far-fetched. It's not outlandish. You don't know about it. You don't do research like that. Okay. And if Muslims is all peaceful and loving, like they say, this man had to be moved from Munster, Germany to somewhere else to safer grounds because the police feared for his life. They were going to kill him down there. That's how the story goes. Now you can go read the whole thing. And let me show you what these peaceful Muslims said. It was a guy that left a comment about this gentleman, M.M.A.G.A. Kalisch. Let me add this. And I'm going to show you what he said. These are the peaceful people on the planet. Remember, they want you to believe that Islam means submit, and they the most peaceful people on the planet. When you start saying things like they're destructive and it's built on war, because that's all the Quran was built on. It was built on Muhammad going through these wars and destroying and killing and taking wives and taking concubines and taking people's property and taking land. It's all destruction. Because the European don't know nothing else but destruction. And the Arab is a European. Okay. Now, this is M.M.A.G.A. Kalisch. That's the gentleman right there. Okay. Let me tell you what that says. It says Munster, Germany, M.M.A.G.A. Kalisch, a Muslim convert and Germany's first professor of Islamic theology. He fasts during Muslim holy month, doesn't like to shake hands with Muslim women, and has spent years studying Islamic scripture. He says it guides his life. So it came as something of a surprise when Professor Kalisch announced the fruit of his theological research, his conclusion, the Prophet Muhammad probably never existed. But that probably, remember, this is November 15th, 2004. 6 years later in 2010, he said it's no Muhammad. He's not even a Muslim anymore. After that, a gentleman left a comment. I want to show you that comment. This is the most peaceful people in the world that left this comment. One of the members, of course, of Islamic faith, right here. I want to show you that. This is a comment that was left under this. This is an article. You can read it. You can type in his name, M.M.A.G.A. Kalisch, and you can read this article from November 15th, 2008. Okay. This guy is Professor Dr. R. Jalil, PhD. This man has a PhD. That's sad. Oh, true Muslims, where are you? Oh, lovers of Holy Prophet Muhammad. Salah, oh, halal, salam. Where are you busy? Listen to me. If you are alive and walking, I would tell you very easy ways to heaven. I don't know what this man's talking about. Professor Sven Kalisch is an arch liar, and his research is egregious. It's a lie. He is scary. I'm sorry. He's a saucy. I don't know. How's that a saucy? How's that a insult? This must be something of the Islamic faith to call a person saucy. His saucy. He is saucy, hypocrite, apostate, and a reprobate. Apostate means he got kicked out of the Islamic religion. They don't want him anymore. And a reprobate means his mind is no good. Okay. It says this: any Muslim brother or sister who is potentially to reach him should kill him as soon as possible. This is what the PhD man said. It's right here on the screen. His name is Dr. R.Y. Jalil, PhD. So when you say, okay, I'm concluding with that. When you say that Islam is so peaceful and it means submit to the will of God, I told you what the Quran and all this stuff is based on: death, murder, war, and killing. That's how the Prophet Muhammad made his bones. He killed and went to war and ran and hid from some people he couldn't kill, came back, killed the people he could. He was a coward too. And he murdered and bloodied and made Islam to the top at the time of his until the time of his death. And he went on one last killing spree towards the Hajj, And he died after that, months after that. Okay, with his little child wife that they want to hide. So again, this stuff is not far-fetched. If you don't do research, if you don't look into all this stuff, you will be a simpleton follower and things of that nature. This is my thoughts on the video. Muhammad 7 Kalisch said there's no prophet Muhammad. I've been saying it every time I get on here. I've said any of these people are fictitious characters created. Prophet Muhammad never had any children. He did in literature, but if he did, where are they now? Did his bloodline just stop? Same with Jesus and anybody else. Did Abraham bloodline just stop at the time of the Bible? Did this man's bloodline stop at the time of Quranic literature? Where's all his family? And I know all the silly converts say, hey, I trace my bloodline back to Prophet Muhammad. He don't have a bloodline. That's just something they taught you to say. That's my thoughts on the video. It's Lil Kenny Russell, Canoeing Consul Moon. You already know what you're going to get when you step in the room. You're now dealing with Canoe. This is what I do, and I love to do it. And before I take back what I said, I add some more to it. I'm a little under the weather, but I'm going to still give you guys content. Nothing's going to stop me from doing content. A lot of silly people be in my comment section, especially on my shorts. They don't know anything but the King James Bible. And I'm going to say it again. I do not respond to people with letters by their name. If you're not man enough to have a profile picture, you're not man enough to speak to me. Like, share, subscribe, comment, and I thank you for watching.